people that I haven't met this evening. So this is just an opportunity to get some feedback on the course and your progress so far, and how you've got on with implementation. So Connor, you kindly agreed to share some of your feedback with us.
Yeah, so since we met up in January, I've kind of used what we learned in the rest, kind of like it with the rest of my team, basically in the business. Yeah. So a lot of the stuff that we went over, particularly kind of around the Fab Soul method. So like, I kind of picked up that we all kind of know what we're doing in our own roles, but I don't think there was a lot of kind of knowledge, you know, for like me as an accountant, what do the marketing people do, for example. So as like an organization as a whole, we've kind of gone through like what are all the products that we offer, so that we're aware and we can kind of sell the benefits of that to people, and identifying what needs they may say in their, you know, whenever we're talking with people, what to pick up on, basically, to trigger, oh, this would be a benefit to you and this is why. So that's been really useful for myself, knowing what I do and what I should be picking up on and what the benefits of it are. So it helps me with the like things that I sell myself. But then as well, having the awareness from everyone else too. And I think it was beneficial for everyone to know, like, of the stuff that they're doing, what are the benefits that this kind of solves for someone.
That's good. That's good. So you're kind of using that kind of to almost guide and point you towards customers' needs and the cues that you might pick up in a conversation with the customer, depending on what they say. Yeah.
So it's for people, like new people that we speak to, and also for the people that we've been working with for years, there might be something that just twigs in a conversation that you're having that they kind of say, oh, I'm really feeling the effects of X, Y, and Z. So that kind of then triggers, we've got this toolkit now basically that we can use to that people are aware of, and we've been building it out together. So it's not just kind of been built and given to them and say, here you go, this is it. We've all kind of collaborated on it, so it's much more like in people's minds that this is all the stuff that we have to offer, because everyone has kind of played a part in building it. So that's been great. And then the other big thing that I've been doing a lot of with people is like the negotiation stuff, and how to deal with awkward conversations, basically. So I'm actually I'm running a workshop myself with people in a couple of weeks, using some of the stuff in the toolkit that we went through on the day, to kind of show people how to tackle those kind of awkward conversations that come up all the time, again, with new leads and people that we've been working with for a while. If there's something that, you know, happens and it is a bit of a difficult conversation. So that's been really, really useful for me, those two parts in particular. And I'm hoping that I'm implementing it with everyone else at my work as well, so they can benefit too.
Very good. I like that you've taken it back into the business and shared it with other members of the team. That's really good, Connor. Really good.
Yeah.
So, and so if at any point you fancy a change from accountancy to sales trainer, just give me a nudge, all right?
I'll let you know. Career is still young, so there's time yet, Justin. I will keep you in mind. Thank you.
You're not convincing me, Connor. But it's all good. It's all good. It's really good to hear that feedback. And in terms of the impact you think it might have made then, Connor, to your business, have you got an idea of that?
So like I said, because we've now because I'm more aware of what we do as a business as a whole, rather than just like myself or my immediate team, when I've been having conversations with new people coming on board, I kind of I've broadened my questions in that kind of initial fact find with someone, so to cover more topics of hoping to trigger them to say stuff that will then lead me on to other areas that they might need help with. So it's not kind of just like their accounts or their packs or whatever. It could be, when was the last time, or what are your website or Google leads like? And they might go, oh, they're terrible. In which case I can go, oh yeah, you need this, I don't know, analysis instead on your SEO performance and things like that. So yeah, it's been really good. It's helping me identify more opportunities on that initial call rather than things coming out of the woodworks like 6 or 12 months down the line. So we're capturing more value straight away. And I think the clients as well like it because it sounds like I know what I talk about.
Yeah. And it shows a genuine interest in them and their business, right? So you're also you kind of connecting more value with you and that conversation. Yeah,
because they're I guess they feel like they're telling more of their story, like the full picture, rather than just like, oh, I'm just going to talk about my numbers with this person. I'm going to talk about everything in my business. So yeah, it's been really valuable.
Great, really good feedback. Thanks, Connor. That set a very high bar.
Sorry.
Joe, Maggie, would you? Anna's with us as well. Anna, you're walking, so I'll appreciate you're still on mute, I should say, and hopefully when you get to your destination, you'll be able to join us. Joe, Maggie, who would like to share your feedback so far?
I'm happy to go.
Thanks,
I'm doing a lot more of the sort of questioning, the kind of, is there anything else, or tell me more, a bit more like that with my consultations. And I am finding that's been just a different way of approaching things, I think, actually, and that has been sort of really good, actually. And I think it's really helped me. I think me understand that the patients are happy with the information I've given them. I would say they seem happy to go ahead, because sort of at the end of my consultation, I'm very much like, is there anything else? Is there anything more you need me to tell you, or sort of words to that effect. And I think that sort of really helped kind of just close things. So for me, that's been quite valuable in consultations with patients. Just knowing that we're kind of, I suppose, sort of at the same sort of end point, and that they're, sort of happy to go ahead with whatever we've discussed, really. So yeah, that's been good. It's just I think sort of just a different way of sort of leading the conversation, I think, and sort of closing things off has been helpful to me.
So what if you had to think about the impact it's had, Maggie? Have you noticed the difference in terms of the number of conversations you're having about different treatment options, or the number of kind of case acceptances you now get? Have you noticed a change?
Yes, I mean, I haven't sort of done the numbers on it as such, but definitely yes, we're sort of coming to the end of a consultation and patients are like yes, and they're booking back in. Okay. And they seem to sort of have a real kind of grasp of what we're doing as well. I feel like sort of they don't come in and the next time and sort of not know what's going on. It sort of all seems like we've sort of had a more in-depth discussion, perhaps, and just perhaps because they've, I suppose, opened up a bit more about sort of needs, wants, things like that. And I think sort of the conversation's just been led in a slightly different way, that they're sort of coming back and they're, I suppose, wanting to go ahead a bit more, rather than feel dentist says I have to have this done, which is just been a sort of a different way of approaching it. And I think there has been, like I say, I've not done numbers on it, but I think there is more uptake on the treatment, which is good. So yeah.
Does your practice track the numbers? Do you look at the case acceptance?
So one of them does, one of them doesn't. I'm between two practices. One does, one doesn't. But certainly the feeling that I'm getting is that people are coming back, and they're very much sort of taking up sort of the slightly higher value treatment as well. They seem quite comfortable with all that, because we've had that sort of discussion about things. So yeah.
And if you're more comfortable about it, Maggie, and it sounds and feels like you are, then the patient's going to be more comfortable about it, aren't they?
No, definitely. I definitely feel more, I suppose, more confident in my consultations. I think it sort of is a bit more put together, a bit more logical. And I'm also finding sort of, I'm sort of clarifying as we go along, sort of almost like repeating back to the patient, so you've said this, and sort of talked about kind of, I suppose, just almost kind of repeating back what they've said, but then also kind of been like, and is there anything more, or is that, what else? And that sort of kind of more questioning led has been, just slightly different way of doing things. And I think it's sort of helped me get it all in my head as well. So
that's great feedback. Great feedback. Maggie, if at some point you're able to get any numbers, and you don't have to share the actual number, but I'd love to get a guide of, it was this percent, it went to that percent. If that's available from one of the practices you work at, I'd love to see some numbers if it's possible.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, brilliant. Thanks, Maggie. I'm just going to call out that it's not fair Anna's opening a bottle of wine while I've got a glass of water in front of me. Oh, Joe.
I forgot to get one.
Is that sangria? It looks like a bottle of sangria. I thought I just saw that.
Anna, is it what? She's gone off camera.
No, it's I don't know where it is.
Sangiovese.
Yeah, so I've never had it before, but someone had it, poured it the other day. I was like, this is nice. So
yeah,
now here I am with my own bottle. I don't have work tomorrow, so
good for you.
It's been one of those, it's been one of those days.
Yeah, Sangiovese. I love a Sangiovese. It's one of my favourites.
Yeah, I'm glad I've been introduced to it.
Very nice. Very nice.
Gonna try not to get it all over this white jumper.
Yeah, you've got a risk factor going on there, Anna. And you're distracted at the moment.
I know. Stop looking at me. Okay, we're open.
Well, thank you for joining us, Anna. Anna, before we come to you, I'm just going to ask Joe. Joe, same question to you. How have you been getting on since the course?
Well, I haven't put much of it into practice at all, Justin, because I've been kind of overwhelmed with this project. But I'm feeling extremely confident because of it. Fabsol, like Connor, it's at the forefront of my mind all the time. I think that the confidence thing was a real problem for me because I actually had a phobia of sales. So I think I've entirely overcome that phobia now, and I'm almost excited about when I'm going to put it into practice. So now there's a few phases of this other project, and she says optimistically, hopefully I'm over the worst of it now, the manic, crazy, non-stop nonsense. So in the next few weeks, hopefully, she says, I'll have a bit more time to then go back to the raising awareness and go through all of the course content. But on the other things that I've needed to consider and still need to pay more attention to, but I'm sporadically dipping in and out of, is the listening and the communication skills. Like Maggie said about the whole conversation. And the change of tone in the conversation. I think just having been on the course, it just the whole inner confidence thing is just I was just like a weight off my shoulders. I can't really describe it, although I haven't actually physically put it into practice and got any figures or anything yet. I know that will come. Yeah,
and I've seen you, Joe, at the dental show a couple of weeks ago, straight into an intro with a few people you were looking to connect with in particular.
Oh yeah, thank you for the connection, Justin. I forgot about that. Well, I hadn't forgotten about it, but obviously, that was that was like so out of my comfort zone. I was but it was brilliant. It was brilliant. Yeah.
You were straight into those conversations. There was no kind of backing away, which is great. And sometimes the confidence is all you need to make the start, isn't it?
Oh, without a doubt, it's huge. It's massive. I can't underestimate how critical, an impact it makes.
Especially with someone like Shaz. I mean, because you've got someone who's very well known in the dental industry.
Well, I mean, I have to tell you, Justin, since you introduced us, I'd never slept. I was thinking, oh my God, here we go. What's going to happen?
It's good. It's good. You're making waves, Joe. You're making waves. Excellent. Anna, how about you? How have you been getting on? Have you just put something in your mouth?
Yeah.
I didn't see you do that.
I thought I got away with that then. Sorry, I just got home.
If I'd seen you do it, I'd have called on you earlier.
There was these little crackers here, and I was like, oh, let me just try one of these. So obviously I have been away. So
yes,
I'll be honest, before the run up to going away, I just was like, do you know what? I've already mentally checked out of work and life. So obviously I've been back, and first I had like an adjustment period of going back to work. And I just woke up one day and chose violence and handed in my notice, threw all my toys in the pram. But it's okay. I think there needed to be some like big changes like for me from my end anyway, with a lot of the stuff that's been going on. And I realized that to be fair, I've just been like too stretched and over just being pulled in all directions. And I was like, I can't, it's not sustainable. So actually I said, look, we need to like renegotiate what work looks like. And then I think if anything, ultimately it's really given me the fire in my belly to do my, to really do my own thing, which I have been making some headway on. I had an awful time getting to Japan and getting back from Japan. I got stuck in like airports. I had to fly to the Philippines. My flight on the way home, everything was been like, when I was in Japan, it was okay, but I had all this like time on my hands. So I actually did spend some time working on my business plan, because I was like, there's no point crying for 7 hours while you wait for your next flight. You might as well crack on and do some work. So I had a really good meeting with my PR girl yesterday, and it really helped me give me some insight into how to push forward with like what I'm going to do. So I think ultimately a lot of the stuff that we learn and, through talking with others on the day, it's more the fact that that's just sort of given me more sort of confidence and the, what do you call it? Like the sort of formula to start really putting the wheels into motion. Yeah, structure, that's the word. Thank you. I can't even structure a sentence right now. So it really sort of helped me think about what can I do that's sort of like short term in terms of like freeing myself up, but also how to then start applying myself long term. So obviously everyone knows I have Thrive. I've just decided to record the modules, put it online, put it behind a paywall, and then be done with that. And then obviously if it evolves from there, that's fine. But Thrive isn't really, I guess, where my sort of passion and time and energy needs to be. It needs to be on a bigger long-term goal, which is obviously London Hygienist. So yeah, I'm not really working much in May, so I have like no excuse now either to not meet my deadlines and get my work done. I think I'm doing like 9 days in May, which financially I don't know what the hell that's going to look like, but these are future Anna problems. Because, and this is the thing as well, I was like, maybe I just quit my job because I'm so like miserable in clinic that I'd rather be unemployed.
Wow.
And I was like, and there's nothing like the fear of unemployment to put a rocket up your bum. So I was like, I've done it, I've had it before. I've been, I've unemployed before. I've lost it all and had it all again. We did 3 months of lockdown without income. And I was like, you know what? Maybe just jumping off the edge and seeing what happens isn't necessarily a bad thing. Obviously, I've been like talked down off the ledge, but that doesn't deter from the fact that eventually I will jump. Anyway, sorry, this feels like I'm having a therapy session.
Yeah, it's group therapy. We're all hanging on every word, aren't we? Where's she going to go next?
No, it's not about going anywhere. This is the thing. It's about it's about that just being at that point to not feel limited by my own belief factors and just take the plunge. And I've got an abundance of a beautiful network. I've got people to lean on to help me. I've got everything I need to do what I want to do and can do. I've just got to apply myself.
Wow.
Very good. Very good.
So in terms of my sales, my sales are good. No, but like work's fine, and that's one thing that's always been good for me. Work has always been ticking over nicely. I really, I really can't complain. The good thing is though, with what I want to do with my, the next project, it just means that everything I've learned, through you and through the rest of the group, I'm really going to have like a strong foundation for how to apply that when I have a team of my own, and little things in terms of what I need to be thinking about long term in terms of like advertising, marketing, communication, language, offering, like all those things. For so long it's just been myself and people buying into me and all the things that I do, but that I is now going to turn into a we, and that's going to look really, really different.
Yeah, and understanding how to engage and motivate your team is important as well, isn't it?
But yeah, 100%. And obviously there's the element of leading by example, but also just having good foundations from the get-go and not allowing to sort of not start at the standard that we want to be continuing at. So I just I've worked in enough places and with enough people and teams to know like what works and what doesn't work to a certain degree, and I'm still obviously learning along the way, but I just feel like I want everything to be watertight, at least at the beginning, to build the foundations. And then obviously I'm flexible. If something doesn't work, of course we'll try something different, but I need to know that I'm going and being a good leader, and that the people around me have got the same like sort of skills, or at least the willingness to learn.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at. The only other thing I keep meaning to do is trying to get more Google reviews. So I've resorted out my QR codes and the review links, and I've got actually a couple of people I can like backdate ask. That was just one target, because obviously if I'm about to jump, I need to make sure that everything that is out there in the universe is all pointing, towards myself and the business and whatnot. So that's what I'm working on. My shoulder.
Right. Okay, good. Good.
Oh, well, I listened to a good audio book the other day called The Ideal Team Player, which is about like finding the right people for like your business basically.
Amazing.
So yeah, if you've got Audible or anything, I would recommend it.
Yeah.
It's really good.
What was it called? Finding the right team player.
The Ideal Team. I
The
think it's
Ideal
the
Team Player.
Team Player. Yeah.
Okay. I'll check it out.
yeah.
Thank you.
I'm sure it's called that. It's not a true story. I think it's like fictionalized, but it's taken from like obviously things that have happened to people.
Yeah, it's fine. We can work with that.
Yeah. No, it's because we had a bit where we were like struggling to find the right people, like the right fit people, and it was just like causing so many problems basically, because it's just so disruptive if you don't find the like people who fit with what you want to do in the culture. So yeah, I would recommend it. It was really good.
Yeah, I think I'm in a fortunate position that when that sort of jump, I've already got my fantasy football team like in my head of everything from like nurses, front of house, like business development, management, like all that. It's like I'll be on the bench. I'm the coach.
You've got the dream team lined up.
Yeah, I'll just be like pacing up and down the corridors in like a big puffer jacket chewing gum, shouting with a clipboard.
I'm going to come and watch that.
It'd be fun. It'd be hilarious.
That's good. So good progress from everybody. So let me ask you the next question. And so what else do you need to do, or what is missing that you need to either refocus in on or that you need some support with?
No.
I think I'm good. I think now spring's here as well, and the clocks have changed. I just generally feel a lot better and more motivated.
Yeah.
Like I'm waking up before, like my Lumi clock's now redundant. I've been waking up before my alarm. I feel like now I've come home, and even though it's like a lot later than normal for me, because it's light, I feel like actually I feel motivated enough to still want to like open my laptop for an hour.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say open another bottle of wine.
I mean, what happens after this one? No, could you imagine? I mean, I know I like a drink, but that's spicy.
But yeah, you're absolutely right. The lighter evenings, lighter mornings, they do make a difference this time of year.
Yeah, I feel less sad.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's true. But in terms of if you think about everything we covered on the course, and in fact you can think beyond that, because we can kind of discuss anything that's on your priority list at the moment. But stuff that you might need to either revisit or that is still kind of niggling away. Is there, what have you got that's still an area of focus?
I think for me, I'm kind of similar to Anna. Like I feel pretty good, to be honest, myself. I think the thing for me is like getting everyone else in the team in the same place now. So we're kind of like a team of people that kind of can all do, all have these conversations with people. And I mean, naturally, some people will find it easier than others. That's always the case. But
Yeah.
I want to make it so like if there is a situation where someone needs, you know, basically it's like someone turns up and wants to chat about something, like it's not like, oh, you can't talk to anyone about that particular thing because Connor's not here or so and so isn't here. I kind of want to like gear everyone up and skill everyone up so that they feel they can have those conversations and not like feel awkward about talking about price or talking about what we can offer them and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, for me, the thing that I need to like keep working on is like keep bringing everyone else along on that journey as well. So it's just, yeah, like setting aside the time to dedicate to like building people up, basically.
Yeah.
So
do you have a team that report to you, Connor, or are you doing this with your peers?
Yeah, I guess with my peers, I don't know. I used to have people who reported to me. They didn't get taken away from me, but I just I stepped away from managing them. So I don't directly manage anyone anymore. So I'm just this like annoying loose cannon that kind of comes around and is like, do you want to talk about negotiating? And everyone's like, no, I really don't want to talk about that again, Connor. Please stop. But I do it anyway.
So I was going to say, so then you say, well, I'll tell you what, if you talk about negotiating, then what I'll do is
yeah. Okay, yeah, we're trading. It's a win-win for everyone.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
It kind of helps though, because no one anymore directly reports to me. I don't think there's any awkwardness about like people like, you know, talking about this kind of stuff with me. Like I don't think they feel like they I don't know, maybe like if you're talking to your manager, you don't want to say you can't do certain things perhaps because you don't want to like come across like you can't do something. So yeah, it worked quite well in a weird way that I'm not really anyone's like direct like reporting line. Because people can say anything to me basically, not feel awkward about it. So yeah, it works quite well. Yeah, for me, it's just like building everyone else up basically now.
Yeah, so it's passing on the knowledge and then coaching them so that they can apply it the same way that you do. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, offline, Connor, if there's anything you need support with on that, then you know, feel free to reach out to me directly if there's something you know you think for Hive, or even you know, we've got other dates. So if any of the team you think would be useful to come on a course, just let us know and we'll happily have a conversation.
Cool. Thank you.
And that's good. From what you've described, Connor, it sounds like you've really taken the toolkit and the principles and really implemented. So congratulations. That's really good. It's really good. And I guess useful that you and Rachel are both in the same business as, you know, two people that have been through the program as well. So very good. Yeah, very good. Yeah, thanks, Connor. Anyone else? Maggie, Joe, Anna, anything that's still on your list that you're like you need to focus on?
Well, everything's on my list, Justin. Like I said, I haven't really progressed in it, so I need to go back and look at it all, and then I'll be bothering you no end.
Okay, good to hear, Joe. Yeah, good. So once you've got the chance to go through it, because you'll be applying it in a slightly different way, Joe, won't you, with the CIC and the engaging potential partners, supporters, that kind of thing. Yeah, good. Okay, thanks, Joe. Maggie, how about you?
Yeah, I think similar sort of thing. I need to go back to some of the notes that I made on the day, go back to the book, things like that, and just I suppose to some extent see what else I can get out of it all, actually, because I think there is more in there that I've made notes of on the day that I've probably not used to my full potential and things like that. So yeah, I think I just need to go back and sort of bit of reflection and just put the time in to do that. Actually, I just haven't done it. So yeah.
Okay, good. When are you thinking, Maggie?
I've got a busy few weeks coming up, but maybe I'm hoping about some time in the next sort of 2-3 weeks, something like that. But yeah, just quite busy with just everything at the moment.
Yeah, work and life does get in the way of
and having the kids over at Easter, and just we've been seeing a lot of family, and I've just been really busy. So yeah, but no, I think I'm sure there's more I can get out of what I sort of made notes on the day, in the book and everything. So yeah.
And that the reminder card that was in the book is a really useful way to just kind of go back to, right, what's the structure? How do I make sure, the big thing the big thing to remember is ask about the customer or the patient's needs first, so that you understand what's motivating them, what's driving them, what would help them make a decision, and then go into the discussion about the solution and follow that FABSOL structure, as Connor says. And then once you've done that, you're going to naturally come to a point where it feels right to ask them if that's a fit. Is this something you'd like to do, or have you got everything you need to make a decision today? So you're pre-commitment, trial closing, and then it just flows. And if you can you could shorten it to those 3 steps. Make sure you know the customer's needs. You position the solution in a way that thinks about features, advantages, benefits. You then trial close, and then you close. And it's like that really does set you up for a successful conversation that meets the patient's or customer's needs. No,
it's good.
Very good. Anna, how about you? Anything on your list?
I just need to stop procrastinating now. Now I've made some breakthroughs yesterday, so only took like 2 months. Now I made some headway with direct. My problem was I was overcomplicating some of the stuff I needed to and wanted to do, and then I had a meeting with the girl who does my PR, and she just really helped me simplify it. And so now I have 2 very clear things that I'm working towards. It's making it a lot less daunting and actually a bit more exciting. I think I was just finding everything a bit overwhelming. I was work was overwhelming, my projects were overwhelming, and then it's kind of I then just lost my passion and my purpose. So it's all a bit of a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
And now I'm okay, wait, now I feel like that fog has lifted. There's a different feeling. I feel like I've got a little bit of clarity. Maybe the going away was helpful as well. I'm just it's my procrastination thing that needs to just get nipped. But now that I know what I'm working on, I feel like from literally tomorrow onwards, depending how much more wine I have, no, I'm joking. I feel I really feel like I've got some real clear things that I can, that's manageable and not overwhelming.
Okay, good.
And obviously for me, a lot of the stuff that we learn is really going to be laying down the foundations, and it's already helping me use the sort of just that problem identifying and then solution offering, because obviously I have to write a plan and I have to be able to articulate that to other people and whatever, investors and this, that and the other. So it's pretty much, even though I'm not trying to sell treatment right now, I'm ultimately about to become in a position where I need to sell my idea.
Yeah, you're pitching.
Backing, investment and support. So these skills are massively they're going to be helping me, and it all forms part of when I get the pushback, when I get the doubts, or we enter the negotiation phase. These are all skills that I now feel that while they're not necessarily being directly related to my clinical practice, they are essentially being applied to my life practice.
Yeah.
So for me, it's just a slightly different space to be in at the moment.
Yeah,
but a
very
good space.
Yeah, very good. And that final point about negotiating, I would say it's one of the things I try and do all the time is negotiate on everything.
Yeah.
Just get used to the uncomfortable conversation where if you're in a situation where you think this is negotiable, just negotiate it. Is that the best you can do? I was thinking that I was only going to pay X. I do it all the time. My wife, Katie, who you all met, hates it. She walks away because I'll negotiate over the tiniest bloody margins just for the sake of it. And she's like, is that really worth it? I'm like, well, actually it was just to keep the skills in check, It really, honestly, just think about it as if you could be comfortable all the time negotiating on everything, just those margins in every conversation really start to stack up, and it just gives you a sense of confidence. What I notice happens with me is that people stop negotiating with you because they're like, just either accept that he's going to ask for a lower price and we'll have to give in to him, or accept that his prices are higher than we'd like to pay, and that is kind of does tend to work that way. So just negotiating on everything is really valuable. There you go. Final tip. And do it with your partners and your parents and your friends and everything, right? Negotiate with
I was
everyone.
gonna say the negotiation in life, I feel happens more often, and I had to do it today with my parents actually, because they've booked to go away for like a week at the end of this month, and it's both my mum and I's birthday, like a day apart. And they're like, please come, and it'd be so good to see. I was like, there's no way I'm spending like a night or more than one night in a caravan with my like parents in the middle of nowhere. I was like, it's just not happening. It's my birthday weekend as well, and I am working. So then I basically was like, they guilt tripped me. So I've negotiated. I said, I will come up for the day and I will meet you at a train station that is convenient to me that they can drive to. And I will go for lunch with them and spend some time with them. And then I will take the train back. They have accepted my offer. I did say, I was like, this is my final offer. So I basically negotiated what terms I was happy with, and they've accepted. So basically the moral of the story is negotiate.
Yeah. If you want time with me, it's on these terms.
Well, the thing is, like, look, I don't want to be mean, but ultimately what they were asking was completely unrealistic. There's no way I'm spending 7 nights in Lancashire in a caravan with just my mum and my dad. That's too much. I will have a lunch with you in Preston.
Yeah.
And that is it.
Love
my
it.
final offer.
Yeah. I think they were asking a lot of you, Anna, to be honest.
That was too much.
Yeah. If I think about 7 days with my parents, God, I don't think any of the three of us would survive.
I'm not being unrealistic.
No, you're not. No, you're not. You're definitely not.
So yeah, but it was a good practicing exercise for negotiations.
Good.
Closed
Okay.
in the first round.
Yeah, who knows where it goes next. So what else is on your agenda for right now? What else can I help with this evening, or what else can we help with this evening before we wrap up? Has anyone got anything that they're like, I'd just like to recover this or get a bit more clarity over that? Because it's a bit like an auction, right? I'm kind of going, gone. I can feel it coming. But because I don't want to keep you here any longer than you have to be, but I also want to make sure that it's valuable for you if you need any support or any final guidance.
I'm intrigued about what's on your slides, Justin.
So, thank you, Jo. So what's on my slides? Let me share my screen. I won't do the full slide deck because we will literally be here for another hour. But let me share that with you. There you go. First things first. Picture of the most wonderful crowd in the world. Look at that.
Look how cute we are.
Look at that. That was slide number 1. It's a cute bunch, isn't it?
Yeah, I do look at that
Cute.
photo every now and again. It's lovely. Yeah.
Yeah. No, nobody fell out either. So that's a bonus. Wasn't
I
through
never
the lack of
thought that. It
trying.
never occurred to me that anybody would. Such a great group, wasn't it? Yeah.
No, but yeah, it was a great group actually. And we don't often have falling out, but sometimes it does. Big group. Sometimes you get a little bit of argy-bargy. We didn't get any argy-bargy, which was good. And then I was going to talk about I'll tell you what, I'm going to go off slide share, and I'll walk through the slides with you, so I don't have to do them all. We were going to contract, we didn't need to because we weren't a big enough group, but I think this was a follow on from the program. I'm going to share Teresa's details. I think you've all met Teresa, but Teresa's here with us again this evening.
Hi.
Hello.
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you for all the emails you keep pinging across to me, because it does keep you fresh in my mind. I'm not ignoring.
Oh, that's good.
And it was nice to meet you.
Spread the word.
Yeah, thank you, Jo. They do get sent from our CRM. So
yeah, I guess that, but it's got Teresa's or your name on it, so
it has. Yeah, we send them from Teresa's account. So thank you for acknowledging that you get them, Jo. Appreciate it. And it's all part. So that's all part of our kind of nurturing process to give people the right information at the right time, and hopefully then when they're ready, they'll kind of contact us about a course. That's the plan. So that's Teresa's details. Then I was going to recap on a few things. I was going to share the roadmap. So a reminder of everything we covered through the course: mindset, building your confidence, money confidence in particular. Then thinking about the way that we prepare, making sure that not only we are prepared, but the practice team are prepared, that the branding's right, the image is right, everything Anna talked about as she's building her plan for her new practice. Then the model, communication model, Inspire, making sure that we've got strong relationships established, that we're building and developing rapport with patients, that we are armed with the right insight statements. Remember these things that the small nuggets that we can share with patients that build confidence. The classic example is, you know, the 14 million plus people who have been treated with Invisalign in the world since its launch, so that people won't realize that it's been that popular or that there's been that many procedures. And you can imagine that's just Invisalign. With other clear aligners, you probably could add another 50%, so you're probably at 20 million people who have had clear aligner therapy since the launch of clear aligners, which is a significant number. So those kind of things just start to give the patient confidence. Then we go to needs. So we talk about the patient's needs. We ask open questions, what or how questions. We listen carefully, and then we summarize what they've told us. We summarize back to them in their own words what they said they were looking for, and normally they'll say, yes, that's right. Then we talk about a solution. We remember features, advantages, benefits, and just make sure that we're joining that up and linking it back to what the patient told us they needed. So that's really important, because then it feels really tailored and specific for the patient. And then we make a proposal, and that's where we do the trial close. So have you got everything you need to make a decision today? And they'll say yes, or, you know, they either say, oh, well, there's one other thing, or that just pops up any objections. We handle those objections through questioning. That might be the point at which someone tries to negotiate. So we make sure that we feel confident to negotiate with the patient or the customer. And that negotiation is about an exchange, a trade. So if somebody wants something, we make sure that we're asking for something in exchange. Then we initiate some form of action. We just make sure that there is an immediacy and urgency at the end, so that there's a commitment from us and a commitment from the patient. And that is the final stage, but we start to think about feedback, thank you, and referral. So referrals, testimonials from patients. So we start to build, as Anna also said, you know, Google reviews, testimonials, and we start to use that as a vehicle for growing our own practice and business. And then final couple of stages were around reflecting on our own kind of performance, reflecting and thinking about how do we continually update, upgrade what we're doing, and that win, learn, change model. What's going well? What am I learning? What do I need to change? And refining it all the time. And then finally, we talked about practice growth planning and thinking about setting really clear objectives and goals for the practice and our team, so that everybody's fully aligned to perform in the same way. Look at that. Didn't need 2 days, could have done it in 10 minutes, couldn't I? But that's the roadmap. So that it's a really nice way of just reminding yourself of everything that we've been through. And I'll share these slides with you afterwards. Then we had the models, accountability discussions, a reminder actually that in your toolkit, you had the action tracker. So that's probably the best place to go back. Maggie, you talked about a quick recap. Hopefully that actions tracker, your kind of key document right at the front, gives you your key actions on a page.
Mm-hmm.
Then we're going to discuss progress, which we've done. Additional areas of focus and improvement. And then I was going to ask, thinking of Anna's theme actually, for those of you, I don't know if anybody's had the chance to look at this, but I was going to ask you to complete a Google review, if you wouldn't mind, for my website. So I'll put this in the email as a follow-up from tonight's session. If you would be able to do that, I'd be very grateful. And if there's anybody that you have in your network, whether they be colleagues, peers, other people that you think they would find the program useful, we would love any referrals. If you've got anybody that you think is useful, we'd be very grateful for that. And I'll share Teresa's details again in a moment. I'll send you these slides through afterwards. And what we've got coming up next, we have the next 2-day courses in May, 19th and 20th of May is our next 2-day academy. And after that, we're doing a 1-day academy on Friday, the 14th of July. So for people who want to do the course in a day, Actually, if anybody wants to recap on the course, there's a 1-day course. That's an option if you think it's useful. And then we've also got, for anybody who's in leadership, we have what we call our Coaching Leaders Academy. So I have, spoiler, I am working with a publisher at the moment to publish the next book, which is called Coaching Leaders.
Woo!
Yeah, well, thank you. Yeah, and it takes our coaching leadership model, which is similar to our Inspire model, but it's a model designed specifically for leadership and coaching, and helps you build a business plan and a structured approach to setting clear objectives for your teams, helping them to understand, what does high performance look like, agreeing those goals and objectives, and then coaching them to that high performance that you're looking for from an organization. And starts to think about development planning and how you become a stronger leader through coaching people rather than directing them. And it's a 12-month program that will start in July. So if anybody's in leadership, or if any of your business leaders or practice leaders, you think that would be useful, feel free to signpost them to us. It's a great program. We're just coming to the end of, well, we're in June, we'll end this current cohort, which has been a 12-month program, and the feedback's been amazing. Yeah, really good. So a few options for you, and then our contact details if you would like to get in touch with us about anything following the sessions today. So I'll send those through to you. I'll put on the email these 2 requests about Google reviews, and if you have anybody that that you think would be interested, please do feel free to pass them on to Teresa or me, and we'd love to welcome them to a future program. There you go, Joe. You wish you hadn't asked now, don't you?
No, that was great. Thank you. Very good.
Thank you, Joe. Appreciate it. So they're the slides. That's the session. Any more? Anything final before we wrap up and say farewell?
I just wanted to ask one question. For the next course, is the accommodation included or not this next time?
No.
No. Okay, fine. No, it's fine. I just need to let people know if they ask.
Yes. No, it's not, Anna. So that was for the launch program.
Yeah, fine.
We're also changing the venue. So we're I think I might have told you this. Actium.
Yeah, that's what the details I have from you.
Yeah. So that they are hosting the course for us at their office. Yeah.
Okay. But on the 14th of June,
July,
it can be people could do it as a 1-day.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, fine. Because I shared it around, so let me just update them and tell them that's an option as well.
Yeah, great. Yeah, thank you, Anna. Appreciate it.
Fabulous.
There are hotels nearby. There are sort of cheap.
Yeah. Which is fine. It's just good to just let people know when they ask that question.
Yeah. And we can help them out with that if they've any questions about it. Yeah.
No problem.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Anna. Appreciate it. Connor, Joe, Maggie, any more?
No, all good. Thank you.
All good. Yep.
Yeah, great. Well, listen, thank you all so much for joining this evening. I really appreciate it. I will send this recording out as well. So if there's anything on there you want to drop to double back on, you can. And I'll send you the links for the Google review. And if you could take 5 minutes just to put that on the website, I'd really appreciate it. And this won't be the last time we see each other, I'm sure.
I've never done a Google review before, so it'll be interesting, but I'll have a try.
Yeah, if you just click the link I send you,
just click the link
straight on it, you'll go straight into. You just have to give me 5 stars and then type what you want.
That's cool.
That was supposed to be more subliminal than that. It just came out really.
Yeah, not subtle at all.
Quite direct. Yeah.
There's no negotiation there. You just do it.
That was his final offer.
If you click the link, you've got to commit to 5 stars. There you go. And Anna's doing some vacuum cleaner DIY.
She's
got a new bat. So I thought I might have to replace the whole thing. It turns out I might just be able to replace the battery for £65 instead of hundreds of pounds.
Oh well, good luck. I hope that's.
So let's hope that this fixes it. But according to the Dyson troubleshooting page, it looks like I need a new battery. We'll see.
Well, good luck and go. Good for you, Anna. Look at that, straight in. Okay, well, listen. Thank you all so much. I'm wishing you all a wonderful year, wonderful success and result. And do feel free to get in touch if you need to get hold of us or ask any questions.
Thank you
Thanks,
so
both.
much.
All right.
Good to see you all again. Thank
Yeah,
you.
great to see you all.
You guys
Thanks,
too.
everyone.
Right then.
Take
Yeah, for
care. Have a
sure.
great evening.